What's up, everyone? In this video, I want to talk about how to know when to cut a losing trade. I can talk about this because we did have somewhat of a losing trade today inside Team Bull. Had one winner. Depending what your feel was, depending, how much you took off on your first trim. Could have been a losing trade, could have been a broke-even trade. But anyways, I want to talk about how I manage my stop losses or how I know when to get out of a trade. Be sure you're subscribed to my channel, click that thumbs up button, and click that bell icon so you do not miss on any of my upcoming videos. Let's get right into this video. I like to make my videos short and to the point. That way I don't take up too much of your time. I always hated watching them videos where people would just ramble on about nothing just to increase the video length. Okay, so my level on SPY today was reject at 397 to 397.4. That was the area I was watching for puts. I told everyone my first entry would be at 397. I'd probably add to it if we pushed up to that 397.4 area. Now that being said, if I do take an early entry down here at the bottom, I'm not going to adjust my stop loss any just because I add here, because that would just make my loss too much, especially after I added. So my stop loss was set right at this 397.6. For those that haven't traded with me before or are new to this channel, I typically keep like a 60-cent stop loss on the stock price, or in this case SPY is an ETF, but you get the point. Now I have, occasionally I will adjust that stop loss based off of nice SPX levels. For instance, if I see this wasn't the case today, but if I seen like 4,000 on SPX right above that, maybe it lined up with like 397.8 on SPY, I may give myself a little more wiggle room. But that's the only way I ever adjust my stop loss. And people say, how do you know to do this? What makes you decide to stop at that point? First off, I keep that general rule of thumb, right? The 60-cent stop loss. Another thing I like to point out, I create this plan pre-market. It's not like I'm getting into this trade, rushing everything. Like, okay, I'm going to stop out here. No, I already know what's going to happen before I get into this trade. And I have already accepted this loss if it happens, because even though we're having a high win rate, it does not mean we're not going to have losing trades. Losing trades will happen. That is something I can promise you. You will not have a 100% successful career of never having a losing trade. It's just not going to happen. The best traders in the world have losing trades. It's all about managing your risk. Now that I've touched on that, if you're trading same-day expiration, it is nearly impossible to judge your stop loss off premiums, for me at least. They fluctuate like crazy, so you're better off watching the chart, sticking to your original plan, and following that through. If you want something that moves better, go further out in expiration, just be sure you got a good delta. I like to trade at the money strikes. So what that means when I'm trading options, when I say at the money strikes, so if I'm looking to go short here at 397, the put I would choose would be the 396 put. Okay? I trade at the money. I see a lot of people, we have these green days, green day after green day after green day. And we're just winning, but then we have a losing trade. And people let their losing trades run further than their winners. You cannot do that. You gotta honor your stop loss. You cannot be just in it. You gotta stop out where you said he's going to allow for the appropriate risk to reward ratio. Now, to talk about this trade, kind of recap on this trade we did take today. So 397 was my area, right? I can't remember. I took a little early entry, I'm sure there. We had a chance to trim at 20%, and I did trim. I trimmed over half my position here. That way, if we did come back up, I'd have a little wiggle room on my stop loss. I didn't stop at a break even. I very well could have, and this could have been a decent winning trade. 20%, do not believe the hype. 20% is a nice scalp. If you're getting over 20%, great, amazing. But to me, 20% is decent, okay? I mean, where else can we lay down our money, pick it up seconds later, and have 20% added onto it, right? Got in, pulled down, trimmed, and it immediately came back up. I say immediately, it seemed like forever. This trade was kind of slow, a little bit slower of a trade than I usually take. And it finally come back up and hit our stop loss. And I stopped out exactly where I said I would. Exactly that same level I had planned out pre-market. I followed my plan. Anytime I follow my plan that, exactly like that, it's a winning trade to me. Even if my P&L says differently, or if I'm right at break even, if I follow my trading plan and follow my pre-market plan, I feel like it's a winning day overall. That being said, this week has been amazing. This is the only losing/break-even trade we've had all week. as far as, trading with me goes. FOMC was amazing yesterday. I'm sorry I didn't recap that. I did recap that with Jay Dunn. So if you want to check out his video from yesterday, we went over it there. And that's all I have for this video. I hope this helps some of you out to manage your trades a little better. Appreciate you all, and I'll see you next time.